Okay, hello and welcome back to my stream. I did not stream yesterday because of personal reasons, but I was determined to stream last week. Even though this is the day I should do other things, but it needs must. Well, not really. You get the point. We are continuing with the stream of Our Life by GBPatch Games or Patch Games, or I forget exactly the name of the company, but so far I am really enjoying it. So thumbs up, and they're gonna do another game. They're working on it right now. As of this stream, they have released the wedding DLC for this game. I have not bought it yet because I have yet to finish the story. But it would mean having to update my copy of the game, which I'm not keen to do until I get to that point, if it's even necessary. Because I don't know yet if I actually want to do Cove's Romance or see what else is available. Because everybody does Cove's Romance, so I want to experiment. And I mean, Cove is a sweetheart, don't get me wrong. I do like Cove, and if this were my private game, I probably would go ahead. I probably would have finished it by now, to be honest. But I'm live streaming this, so I want to. One of the things I try to do is go with the stuff less chosen, down the path less followed, or whatever it is. So I'm just going to wait and see what goes on with other potential love interests that are out there, and we'll see what happens. If I remember correctly, we have finished all the regular content. So if I hadn't bought the DLC, we'd be moving on to Adult Swim. But I did buy the DLC, so we are going to play these last 5. Not all this week. Whatever I don't finish this week, we'll finish next week, and then we'll see where we're at in terms of time. So when I upload this to YouTube, I will include a link to not only the base game, but also to the DLC for Step 2 in the description. Because what's the point of showing you the DLC if I don't give you a link to buy it? And the DLC is, you do have to pay for it, but the base game is free, but the DLC is how they fund producing the base game. So it's a bit of a trade-off. It's the same way with Andromeda 6. I just said Andromeda 5. Good grief. Rain. Police. Anywho, the first DLC, Marl. Oh, wow, hello. Looks like that's all kinds of stuff for scuba diving. You got tanks, wetsuits, slippers, masks, snorkels. Lee's visit today turned out to be more involved than expected. After overhearing where the Holden family was going, Lee insisted on seeing Mr. Holden's shop firsthand. An hour later, Lee was busy looking at every item on display. Because Cove's dad offered supplies, lessons, and tours, his shop had all the scuba-related stuff you could imagine. Fins, masks, suits, and snorkels. Okay, that explains why we're here. I always wondered what he did. Well, not always, but I did wonder. After circling around the shop, he finally stopped and looked at the whole room. Oh, okay, that's interesting. How often have we been here? I forgot to grab my dice. I should know by now. I need to grab my dice when I'm gonna live stream, but do I grab it? No! Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4. First time we've been here too. Okay, first time we visited Cove's room. First time we visited his dad's shop. mystery was finally gone. Over the years, you'd heard bits and pieces about what Cove's dad did from Cove, Derek, and Mr. Holden. And now, here you were, standing smack dab in the middle of it. I'm not going to go with that last choice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Bursting with excitement. Mr. Holden had been running it for a long time by now. This shot meant a lot to Cove and his dad. It felt cool to see it. Lee was still busy poking to the various wetsuits displayed, so he decided to see what Derek and Cove were doing. They were too absorbed in their conversation to notice he standing near them, leaning against the counter. They were able to pick up the topic quickly.
Anyway.
My dad told me the new stuff is selling like crazy. Yeah, the material has this new blend with less neoprene. My dad says people are really interested in it. Brought a smile to your face, hearing that the shop was doing well. Let's throw it in. Those wetsuits with the bright colors are probably popular too. I haven't seen many with that style in other places.
Right?
I like those.
Maybe.
Some of them might be too bright. I don't think the point of scuba diving is drawing a lot of attention to yourself. Maybe people just wear them on the beach. Standing out would help there. Your family could always spot you. Cove smiled at Derek's positivity. Really, there's just so much to think about with the business. It's crazy. No matter how much I still don't think I get it. Cove hummed and nodded in agreement, causing a good-humored laugh from Derek. I thought you only liked the scuba diving part. That's the job part. That's just the best part. I think about the other things, too.
I gotcha.
Cool. The business side, running it, that's my favorite. Out of the corner of your eye, you caught movement and you realized that Lee was now standing next to you. When your dad's retired, do you guys think you're going to carry on the store? Both sons shrugged in unison.
Well,
there's tons of things I could do. My dad thinks so too. He doesn't want me to plan on working here forever. Cove's gaze fell to the floor. You could see the conflict flashing across his face.
I don't know.
It's a lot, being the real boss of something and totally in charge. These are all good ideas. But which direction do we want to go? Let's just go with this last one. No matter what you both do, shop or no shop, you'll be amazing. Derek smiled in equal parts happiness and bashfulness. He bounced on his feet a bit. I like that they show that Cove is tall for his age, with Lee and Derek being shorter than him. And my cat decided if he wants to join me. So come on, Dingaling. Come on. We're not going to head over to the window and investigate. My silly boy. Thanks, Jules. I'm happy you believe in us. Me too. Oh no, brain, please do not get any ideas. You're a teenager yourself. Shut up. Cove's parents left the back office that came over, catching her attention. Sorry, kids. It looks like it's going to be a long one. I know usually others hold the fort down, but I really need to stay here today. I know you just wanted a bit blow with it. It'd be boring getting stuck all day. It's because of me. Tyra can take my car and go back to the neighborhood. Cove and Derek gave him an understanding look. Mr. Holden crossed his arms and flashed you all a big smile, trying to lift the mood. The one condition is that someone has to remember to come back for me later. You don't get to strand me here, no matter how funny that might be. Well, remember. Tyra laughed and gave him a thumbs up. Mr. Holden seemed satisfied with that. He moved on with the explanation. Derek, your dad also has his hands full today, so he doesn't have time to run you back home.
It's okay.
That's all right, sir. No, sir, got an awkward chuckle out of Pip, which was cut short when Kyra elbowed him teasingly.
What do you think?
You already said I could borrow your car. Why don't I take all the kids somewhere fun for the afternoon?
Absolutely.
That's fine with me. Just please come back eventually, sometime today, Kyra. After multiple jokes about being left with no ride, you had to wonder if that actually happened in their past together. For real. For you, my good sir, I swear, across my heart. Happy with the promise, Cliff took out his black wallet and offered a $50 bill to Kyra. Here, in case you need gas or anything else while you're out. Kyra smiled knowingly and accepted the bill without hesitation.
Thank you.
Cove stuck the wallet into his back pocket while he waved with his free hand. Okay, time for me to jump back into work. Have fun for me. Bye, Dad. Bye. Bye, sir.
Bye.
Bye, Mr. Holden. Goodbye, sirs, madams, and most respected guests. Thank you. Oh, that little acknowledgement of a non-binary character. Awesome. Yeah, not everybody goes by sir or madam. There's going to be people who don't. He left the room with a wink and a flare, disappearing into the employees-only area of the shop. When Mr. Holden was out of sight, Kyra silently strolled over to the counter and carefully placed a $50 bill there. She turned back around and beamed a large smile at you at the others. Come on, gang, let's see if this town has a mall.
Yeah!
Unable to contain her excitement, Lee actually jumped with joy, while Cove and Derek just grinned. There wasn't a mall in your hometown, but Mr. Holden's store wasn't in Sunset Burke. It might be possible to find a mall out here. Let's go with you felt pumped. Because I go the neutral route, and that's something that people have mentioned before, is that human beings, if there is a middle ground, that's where they want to go. They don't generally want to go to extremes, so I'm trying to avoid doing that. Heck yeah. Let's go. Gee, this background looks familiar. She quickly heard the group out of the store into the car.
Cove.
As driver, I guess she's my partner in crime. Naturally, I bestowed the position of shotgun to my baby. The comment had both Derek and me snickering. Cove was for sure embarrassed over the phrasing and blatant favoritism, but he took the seat by his mom without complaint. Yeah, with my family, we used to argue over it, and then my parents basically instituted a rule where we rotate who gets to sit in the front seat. That obviously changed as we got older, but it worked well for us, and there was no more fighting over who got the front seat. Let's stick up for Cove. Don't say that, baby. You can decide wherever he wants to sit. Cove ran hand nervously through his hair. He was in disbelief that you'd disagree with his parent like that.
My baby.
Jules, you're right. Cove's not a baby, but he'll always be my baby. A precious baby boy. Yep, that is absolutely a parent. Parents will do that. Kyra turned to Cove. Her expression lit up just by looking at him, and he became even more active. I couldn't think of anyone better at once than shotgun with me, but if he doesn't want to, he doesn't have to. I love him no matter what.
That's,
I'm already here. I'll just sit. He still looked like he wanted to crawl out of his own skin. Unfortunately, your attempt to help backfired. Moms can be tricky that way. Dads too. I'll take the middle seat. Really?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want a window seat. You two can have them. Are you cool with that? You thought it was odd that anyone would give up a window seat. But you knew Derek tried to be especially polite when he was a guest. You nodded.
Fantastic.
Good. Sounds like we're all in agreement. Everyone squeezed in the car, buckling in, and Kyra turned the radio on. She set to a Top 40's park station. Hi. I'm being stared at. You were into it. Quickly, you recognized the song play. It was a new one by an artist you were listening to a lot recently. It wasn't long until your group realized that they were lost. After driving in those circles, Kyra's struggle paid off, and she found a local mall. There were more cheers from Lee as Kyra pulled into a parking spot. Once your group had made it inside, the first order of business on the strip was checking what this mall actually had. Yo-yo! Honestly, for me, it might be finding a backroom. Of course, that depends on how much I've had to drink and how long I've been since I last gone. Where should we go? I think I see a makeup store up ahead. She rolled up on her tiptoes to get a better view. Meanwhile, Derek was eyeing the directory. There's a chocolate shop. Seriously, we have to go there. Yes, chocolate. I've already stated before that I'm a chocoholic. I love chocolate. Yes, wait! And we need to find a decent jewelry shop. I need new hair ties and barrettes.
Nice.
We also gotta at least look for a game store. That's two of things you can't get anywhere but a store that's just for video games. Yup. Hey, what are you thinking, Cove? I'm gonna look at the fish in the pet store. Could have guessed that much. Anywhere else? The fellow with some bashfulness. We'll go to a camping and outdoor supplies shop.
So...
What about you, Jules? Ooh. Oh boy. Shit. I wish I'd written down which hobbies they had. Music shop. Camping and outdoor supplies. Bookstore. Food court. That's it. That's on the list. Good thing we have all afternoon. Yeah! I have my own stuff so much to make. Let's agree to regroup here about 7 p.m.
What?
You're not coming with us? We're all in the same building. You won't be alone as you think. And maybe a few minutes away at most. You're old enough to enjoy the mall without me hovering. Okay.
See you soon.
Be back here at 7 p.m. Toodaloo. Leaving Derek and me stunned by their newfound window. Ira walked off. When she was almost outside, Derek's face twisted in confusion. Wow, she's really gone. I can't believe she just did that. This is so cool. We get to do whatever we want. Let's go with this. Really unsure. Is it me or does it feel weird to be at the mall without a parent there? My mom shouldn't have done this. Not just you.
Trust me.
It'll be okay. We're here together. If she's not going for real, she'll be somewhere around. With the decision already made, Derek tried to pull together his earlier enthusiasm for the trip. So where are we going first? Time's a wasting. Whatever's closest. Things were coming together, but you realized there might be a flaw in today's setting plans. What's wrong, Jules? Did everyone bring money with them?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did. I always have some money when I come all the way out here. You had money too. Immediately you felt better about the situation. It would have been a downer to not be able to even think about something at small because they didn't have money. I'm good. Now that everything was squared away, you explored them all together as a group. There were many shops you managed to venture into so far. Well, even went into a music shop, leaving you with a pep in your step. This was better than you thought, and there was still so much to see. Having hit many of the top party stores, you found yourself passing by a small booth, decorated in wind chimes of various sizes. Yeah, you raised a hand up to one of the smaller ones. What sparked your attention next was Cove. You thought for sure he was going to stop at the gypsy booth by the way he looked at it, but he kept going. Do you want one? It wasn't until Lee asked that you realized that you had stopped in front of the booth without saying anything. Lee just continued to encourage you. You should get one. Well, just listen. It's nice to check stuff out. Lee hummed in agreement and then stared past the booth. Following her gaze, he saw that the boys were already wandering too far ahead. Let's go. Leaving another clothing store, one that Lee couldn't resist exploring, you and your friends found yourselves walking down the main hall of the mall again. It wasn't long until everyone you were with had their eyes on the smoothie kiosk ahead. Should we stop? Yeah. As you approached, your eye was drawn to the dizzying list of smoothie combinations. Many of you wondered how long it would take to try them all. Hi there, do you need a rundown of how this works? Yes, please. Okay, first up, pick up to 3 options of fruit or berries. Then I'll add the ice in the store's special smoothie-based mix. And then you'll have your very own smoothie for $4 for only one size. Totally over the counter a bit. For several moments, you intently study the plentiful fruit and berry options. I'm going to get a strawberry banana smoothie with coconut, too. Sounds good. Is anyone else getting something? Can I get one that's just all mango? Of course.
Thanks.
I'd like strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries for mine. Thanks. The shopkeeper looked at you now. Could I get... kiwi. Berry. And... that's it. At that, everyone went ahead and paid for their individual fruits. Waited over at the other side of the booth where the drinks were put when they were done. Derek bounced on his feet, excited for his to be ready.
Aww.
This is going to be good. We chimed in with our own enthusiasm. Everybody says there's smoothie-based stuff to make up any drink great. Cove, while quieter, looked just as eager for his smoothie. Luckily, there hadn't been anyone else before you, so it wasn't a long wait. Your group collected the fresh drinks as they were placed on the counter. Straws were placed through the opening at the top of the cup, and the first tentative sips were had. Derek sighed in satisfaction after his taste. Mango is too delicious. Mine is super good, too. Cove nodded and hummed in agreement. His straw was still in his mouth. This is perfect. Cool, we all made excellent choices today. Yeah. Right, Coke smoothie. Coke, could I have a drink of yours? Now, for 1 second, since getting it had its lips been apart from the straw, but I did seem to be considering your request. Wait for him to decide on his own. He seems to be having some fun keeping you in suspense, so he exaggeratedly pondered away, still drinking it himself. Then, he smiled softly, and finally he offered the cup to you. Held the cup in both hands and took a sip. Thanks.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. It's kind of a sacrifice, you know. This is really good. I guess drink back, Cove smile seemed to grow bigger. Teasing tone made you grin. It is. Lee, can I taste what you got? As long as you let me try yours too. Deal. You and Lee swapped cups and took several sips before swapping back. The berry blend tasted very strong. I like yours. I'm really happy I got this. Thanks, Lee.
You're welcome.
I'm always there to help. Can I have a sip of yours, Derek? You can. He held his cup out for you to take it, but instead it was easier to just lean forward to take a sip from his straw. He blushed slightly at the gesture. That is good mango. Thanks. You're welcome. As your group continued to wander the mall, you came to an area in the path that was wider. In the center of the opening was a collection of quarter-operated ride-on machines. Derek stopped as soon as he saw them, smiling ear to ear. Oh gosh, I remember those. I am not tall, but I am definitely too big for these kinds of games these kinds of rides anymore. I want to ride. I think we might be too big.
No way.
No way. We're not that old yet. He eagerly headed over to the machines, wanting to get a better look. He went along with it, smiling. I didn't care one way or the other. Whether we're too big or not, it can't hurt to check it out. You can be around Derek to watch as he was focused on the various brightly colored rides. Most were designed to look like real vehicles, but there were also some horse-shaped ones. One of them could even seat 2 people. I call the helicopter. Why?
Cool.
It's the coolest, and I think it'll move the most. He started digging in his pockets, pulling out whatever money he had left. Wait, is everything okay? I need 4 quarters, right? Yeah. I only have 2. There has to be more between all of us. Hold on. Pockets, wallets, and purses were checked over. Derek still had 2, Phil had only 1. We ended up with the most at 3. You didn't have any.
Don't worry about it.
You can have mine. Thanks, but you don't have to. It's not enough for me. Even if it was, it'd be dumb to ride while you had to watch. Cove shrugged. He tried, failed, and wasn't unsure what to do next. Yeah, that's right here. Exchange all the bills for more quarters. Derek slapped a hand to his cheek, eyes wide.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that'll work. Let's do it. The group scattered to various shops around. Being shortly convenient the rides, everyone had more than enough quarters.
Please.
Are you going to join us on this little kid ride? Please. He sighed, admitting defeat. I'll do it. Yay! There were enough machines that everyone claimed one for themselves. Derek got his coveted helicopter, and he was happily on a horse. Cove waited to choose last. Since he didn't want to take a ride someone else wanted when he cared so little about it, you pick. Double-seater car, and Brian pulled along. So you can sit with me. He gave a bent smile and put a hand on his hip when he saw the ride you pointed out. If you really want to try fitting me in that, you might actually be comfortable if you use it by yourself. That doesn't matter. I want to ride with you. All right. He winked at the two of you from her pony as you squished next to one another in the child-sized seat. Looks were exchanged across the way, and you each popped the coins in at the same time. The little ride flared to life. The machines began moving up and down and side to side. He and Derek couldn't contain their laughter. Derek started waving from the window of the helicopter, and Lee reached out to see if she could touch anyone as their machine jolted closer to hers. Cove, on the other hand, just stripped out of the car. He was struggling to remain in his seat, looking very uncomfortable. Wave back. Asking yourself to gesture at Derek, Lee also returned a wave he made in her direction. Cove wouldn't participate in that. The biggest response he gave was a weak nod. Soon all rides came to a stop, and the group dismounted. Derek looked absolutely pleased at the conclusion of this pit stop. Then you noticed something out of the corner of your eye. You took your head to look directly at it, and you burst into laughter. What's funny? Turn back to your group and nod in the direction of where you were looking. Isn't that one of those machines that takes dollars and gives quarters back? Kind that exists for people who don't have quarters on hand? Everyone's head moved that way and saw that you were right. Derek chuckled awkwardly. That's exactly what that is.
Oh.
We're kind of dumb. You have to be to miss that this whole time. That is funny. Come on, let's just put this behind us. There's still places open. We haven't been everywhere yet.
Totally.
Here. Moved along from one stop towards your next still jovial from the experience. Shortly into your walk, we ran over to a nearby trash can and tossed your smoothie cup. Derek went after her and threw his cup away. Followed suit and got rid of your empty cup too. Cove was glad to throw his cup away. He took one final sip, making sure he got every last drop. 5 inches closer to 10 p.m. as you all made your way back to the directory. It was hard to believe how fast the day went by. Where do you think your mom ended up today? We didn't see her anywhere. I don't know. She's just like that. Ooh, it's a mystery. Despite having vanished for the entire trip so far, when 7 p.m. hit, you spotted Kyra coming right over, waving cheerily. As she was close enough, she pinched Cove's cheek.
Hey, yeah.
Hi, baby. And friends. Hi, Mom. She pushed her hand back with one hand and rubbed his cheek with the other. Did you have a good day, gang? Yeah. Today was awesome. We did so much.
Not bad.
It was fun. There was no hiding your joy. Like the others, you were smiling ear to ear because today was so much better than you expected. I'm glad we came here. I want to hear all about it during the ride back. Slapped her hands together once, making sure she had everyone's undivided attention. You did that. We better head out. Cliff must be missing us, and you've got to be starving. Dinner time, and you haven't eaten yet. Yeah. Everyone followed her lead and started walking out the door to the parking lot. Something about what Kyra said felt off to you. There were tons of places to eat. It's a mall. You could have had dinner. I wondered if it was just a good guess, but you could feel your eyebrows raise when it dawned on you. She might have been keeping an eye on you after all. That was pretty slick. If you hadn't made that comment, you never would have known. You found it hard not to be impressed. Not once could you recall even catching a glimpse of her hanging around. But now that you think about it, not seeing her ever was suspicious in and of itself. Shaking off the thoughts, you caught up with the others. Even the same seniors from as earlier, you all piled into the car and started heading back to the store. The drive went by without any problems, such as filled with chatter about the various things everyone saw around the mall. Soon enough, you'd arrived at your destination. It was a much faster trip to seeing this time Clara knew where she was going. Yeah. Because remember, this is before GPS. This is before Google Maps or Apple Maps. The best you could get was an actual book of maps, and that doesn't always help because if you don't know that there's something there, you can't look it up. Nearing the light, you got a buzz from the front door being opened. Sid put his head out from the back. He lit up at seeing who was here. Sorry, just a minute. Looking something up. Not looking something up, I just something needs my attention for a moment. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. I like this music. Hey, sport, did everyone have an adventure? Hi, Dad. We had a blast. Yes. We found the ball.
Aww.
Ball? Wish I could have joined. He declared in an exaggerated way, his shoulders shrugged. Tyler put a hand on his arm and smiled.
Anywhoosies.
There'll be other times. Are you set here? Almost. Mr. Holden said for real. He then pulled himself together, standing up straight.
Do you mind?
I need just a little more time to finish up. Will you be alright killing time for a little bit longer? It's okay. Yes, sir. No problem, Mr. Holden.
Sure.
We can have fun here. Excellent. What a great group of kids. He gave an approving thumbs up, and Kyra nodded along. I'll give you a hand. I remember the ropes. Why, thank you. They walked side by side to the back room. Before it was outside, Cliff stopped and looked over his shoulder. You leave the shop. Don't go far. It's getting late. And then the parents were gone again. Instead of the dock, they're right down the way. Yeah. Oh, I saw this on the way here and really wanted to check it out. Are you coming, Joel? All right. With a smile, Cove showed the way. Between the warm summer air and the smell of the ocean, you couldn't ask for a better night.
Thanks.
Thanks for letting me come. Me too.
Right?
Right? I'm happy we did this. Today was great. Cove, your mom and dad are really cool. Really? Totally. Cove looked at Lee oddly. He ran a hand through his hair, and then his puzzled expression cracked with a chuckle.
I guess.
Sometimes they are. You continued walking. Every so often you look up at the sky and see several stars poking out between the clouds. At one point you noticed that Cove stopped while Lee and Derek kept going on ahead, busily chatting. Initially you wondered if something was wrong, but you quickly noticed they still looked to be in good spirits. You decided to hang back with Cove, gave you a quick, acknowledging look when he stopped at his side. You could taste the sea salt as you took a deep breath of the ocean air. Silently, you and Cove watched the ocean for a little while. There was something about the waves that you always found soothing. Couldn't think of a better way to end a busy day. Not much time later, Derek's chipper voice caught your attention. You and Cove both turned your gaze down the pier. What are you doing there, slowpokes? Get over here! Hey, come on! Looked at Cove at the same time he looked at you. You grinned and nodded your head in the direction of your friend. He gave you a small smile in return. Your footsteps echoed against the wind plank to the dock and into the night as you ran to catch up. Ta-da! Okay, one DOC down. We definitely got time for at least one more. Birthday! It was a pleasant afternoon. The sun shone brightly and the breeze tugged lightly at the balloons strung around the park. You and Cove had just been dropped off at Miranda Eckhart's birthday party. You really know Miranda. Last year was the first time you had a class with her, and everyone at school knew her as quiet. The shy girl stuck to her own friend group like glue. It had been a surprise that she was having such a big party. She looked around the expensive park, a spacious recreation center in the next town over, and noticed a bouncy castle. Miranda had a bit of a reputation for not caring if she acted mature, like other teens sometimes did. It made a certain amount of sense that her party would match that. Let's get to know her better. Maybe at this party you'd have the chance to make friends with her. You were excited at the thought. You hadn't had a choice in coming here today. Your mom insisted on it after you got the invitation, as did Cove's mom and dad. So both of them here were driven over to the next town with presents in tow. All the parents had been pretty firm about going to your birthday if you'd been invited. Give it a chance. You're just here at this party after all. You couldn't see the future. It could turn out to be fun or it could be a disaster. You'd wait and see. Cove made a small noise which caught your attention. He looked around, scanning the area. He fidgeted with his gifts in hand. Any idea what we're supposed to do with these? You looked at your own present and then towards the seating area. There was a table filled with snacks and drinks, supplies from various party games. You saw that each had one table in the back that seemed to have a truckload of gifts. He pointed it out to Cove. Let's drop the presents off over there. At least it's not a hobbit birthday party. According to Hobbit custom, you give gifts on your birthday, you don't receive them. Cove nodded with a smile and turned to where you gestured. He saw it too. Cool. You and Cove began to walk over to the present table, flattening the well-trimmed grass beneath your feet. You walked past groups of people, classmates, semicircles broken up into the usual friend groups chatted away. You, or maybe Cove, received the occasional greeting or friendly nod. However, as you passed by even more people that you had never seen before, you became aware that there were more strangers here than not. It was more crowded than you expected. Miranda Eckert, Quiet Girl, was the most populated birthday party you had been to in a long time. You looked at the new faces and thought you saw something of Miranda in them. Cousins, nieces, or nephews, maybe? Parties could be a big deal in her family. Now, in my family, we don't do big parties. And most of my, I usually just celebrate with my parents and my siblings. When I was younger, other family members would come. Aunts, uncles, cousins, no nieces or nephews. And not likely to have any. I'm okay with that. But I have family up in Canada, family in Alabama, in the Midwest. There's really only a couple of family members that live close enough for them to actually visit on a regular basis. The both of you reached the table. You set your gift down in an empty space, brushing some confetti aside, and Cove placed his gently next to it. He looked at the present thoughtfully.
Hey.
What did you get her? Before you had a chance to answer, Cove opened his mouth again and tapped his gift. Found this plastic backpack. I figured she could use it for school or on a trip or something. Your moms were taking out shopping the other day. You'd searched through the store and ultimately... a uncracked kit that made a toy. A colorful picture on the box appealed to you. It showed off the different variations you could make with the kit, one with the bolded messages of easy and 43 pieces included. Hopefully the kit was as cool as it looked. I described it to Cove briefly and he had no objection.
Not bad.
Oh, not a bad idea. He brushed his hands against the sides of the stamp. I really hope Maria likes her gifts, but I think we both do good. With that, he gave you a sunny grin. You touched the gift one more time and stepped away. Without the direction lead to put stuff away, the two of you weren't sure what to do next. It got a little awkward, and Cove shrunk in on himself as he looked around. There were more guests heading to the present table, so you turned away and wandered over to a nearby tree where you wouldn't be in the way. From there, you both inspected the area and planned the next step. I'm glad that Cove had been invited too. At least you had his company in this unfamiliar place. You watched him and he gave you a nervous grin. It reassured you a little, and you smiled back. Yeah, that was me when I was younger. I tended to stick to someone like Blue, and when it was my twin, she didn't appreciate that. What next? Cove did not appreciate being put on the spot. He was just as unsure as you were. Birthday party stuff? It didn't seem to be time for cake, what with people still arriving. Nothing else would be organizing yet, either. He noticed himself and tried again. We could find Miranda? That was an idea. It made sense to meet the birthday girl. Okay, we could say hello. Wish her happy birthday. Ask her what she wants people to do.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. At that point, it was decided. The Miranda hunt had begun. He wandered around. Anytime he saw someone with Miranda's haircut, he got a little closer, but only once it turned out to not to actually see her. Hey, look! Finally pointed over to the real Miranda. She smiled slightly when he both approached, but ducked her head. She seemed a little overwhelmed with being the center of attention today. Hi, Cove. Hi, Jules. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thanks. I'm
really
really glad
glad-
you could come.
Aww. It's just wearing a unicorn shirt. No, stood awkwardly. Miranda did seem genuinely happy, but there's still a distance between you. This is a great-looking party. Thank you. Is there something we need to do, or should we just hang out?
Oh, well,
Well,
you can talk to people if you want. There are games that are going to start soon.
and the bounce house should open later if you feel like jumping. Then after that, it's cake and present time. We'll have ice cream, too. After that is when people will start going home. I hope that's okay with you guys. Well, no, you feel a little more confident about the situation now. Thanks for letting us know. He grinned at her and she nodded back. Miranda waited there and you became hyper-aware of the silence forming. You heard a shout for Randy. Miranda brightened up, but total 180 with how stiff she had been with you.
I gotta talk to some more people. Bye.
She looks younger, too, so... The birthday girl ran off to her friend, leaving you and Cove with at least a little more idea of what to expect. You both glanced at each other wordlessly. A little disappointed. It was going to be hard to get to know Miranda better with how in demand she was probably going to be today. Hopefully you would get to talk with her later. All that was left now was finding something to fill time until the activities began. Try to chat with people around. Let's get to your side to socialize. There was a lot of introductions to small talk, but you weren't surprised. Ran to some classmates and ended up talking about a rumor that there would be a new art teacher in the class. Cove didn't buy the wildest of rumors about her, that she was an international art thief who was hiding up to the law. Weird how a story like that even got started. Seriously. Kids will be kids, I guess. One of her classmates laughed and said she'd heard it from someone who'd been in summer school and happened to see a truck with some painting jobs in the back. She didn't understand the stretch there either. Suddenly a loud voice boomed over the crowd. Constant buzz of conversation dropped as one of the adults, maybe Miranda's dad, asked the kids to gather around because it was game time.
Huh.
I wonder what's going to happen. Make a joke about something that's not going to happen. He's going to play a high-stakes poker. It's obvious. Obvious, huh? Look at this crowd. Most of the guests were teenagers around your age, but there were also quite a few adults and some younger kids. Cove noticed Kate had a group of little kids. Yeah, these are high rollers. Just like you and the rest of your family. He smirked at that one. The adult announced that the children on 10 had the first turn on the bounce house. For everyone else, it was time to play pin the tail on the donkey. Cove raised his eyebrows. He was surprised for sure. On with the game. You didn't have anything against Pin the Tail Donkey. It would probably turn out okay. I have never actually played that. He casually stepped up to join the line. Johnson clicked on a cartoony poster with big eyes that looked more like a ping pong ball, positioned a few feet above the ground on a tree trunk. The team who arrived first was blindfolded and then spun around. He was nudged to the side and away from the other kids so he wouldn't stick someone with the tail instead. Unfortunately for him, he placed a tail on the donkey's head like some kind of bizarre mirror. He wouldn't be waiting that far for him, the target. His opponent did far better by laying it on the donkey's back. The spectators clapped politely and the line moved up. More teams tried their hand at it. Some got closer than others, but no one had gotten it perfect yet. Soon it was Cove's turn. He was blindfolded and spun just like the others. At this point, it was a close match. Everyone was watching with bated breath. Cove approached the donkey and stuck the tail on without any hesitation. Cove stood back and removed his blindfold, hearing when he saw how close he was. He turned his head over his shoulder and grinned at you. Your turn. Yep, we're gonna take it. Down it goes. Blindfold on the bright spark became utterly dark. As you were spun around, the sound around you seemed to get louder. At least you could tell the direction of the bounce house from the shrieks of the younger children. You stopped spinning and stepped forward, tail in hand. It was time to give it a stab. Let's see. I didn't roll the dice in a while. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or 0. 5. And place it downward. You press the tail into the target and step back. Take your blindfold off to protect your result. People cheered from behind. You had indeed pinned the tail on the donkey right where the donkeys preferred their tails to be. That's right, because I is tall. I picked tall for her. You beamed at your accomplishment and felt a surge of pride. It was perfect. You looked back at the crowd behind you and your eyes met Cove's. He was impressed. You even got a small thumbs up. A few more kids took their turn. One girl managed to somehow pin the tail on the opposite side of the tree. You were pretty sure it had to be on purpose. With the line empty, the game was finally over. The goat running thing started to inspect the donkey. At this point, Simon was more tail than donkey. Yep. However, you were the undeniable winner. No one could get closer than perfect. After your name was announced, everyone cheered and clapped for you once more. You came up to the front, and the man gave you a handful of candy as a prize for the victory. Thank you. As you shoved the candy into your pocket, and walked up to you. Congrats on the win. Humble or bashful? I don't want to be snotty about it. Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. Bashful. Once you had your candy situated, you unwrapped a particularly chewy taffy candy and shoved it in your mouth. It was sweet and tasted like artificial banana flavor. It also gave you an excuse not to speaking, just nodded in response. We're gonna share. You want some? The sparkling eyes told you yes. You held out a lollipop and Cove accepted it carefully. It was a mystery flavor. She had no idea if he'd like it or not. Unwrapped the treat and it was a swirl of pale blue and translucent green. Cove gave it a tiny lick. What's it taste like? Your victory and berries, I think. You both laughed at that and gave him more candies. An older teen walked up, tall enough to tower over you and Cove. Oh, that is an accomplishment if he's taller than you and Cove. You felt a little intimidated by the stern-faced teenager until she started to speak. Her voice was low, but friendlier than her tough friend would suggest. Hey, I'm handing out party favors. Do you want one? She showed you party hats. She insisted they were the key to a true partying mood. She had two options, either a colorful headband with two tiny party hats arranged almost like ears, or a tiara with a star on it. They were both very festive.
It's okay.
No thanks. She knew the teen hadn't actually glared at him, her default facial expression just seemed grim. We'll stick with the headband. Purple. The teenager handed you the hat with a surprising amount of gusto, given her expression never changed. She gave you a serious thumbs up for taking it. Let's encourage Cove. Held the pink headband hat in one hand and a crown in the other. You tried to imagine what they'd look like on Cove. You really should try it. It'd be great. Cove looked back at the hats and then at you. With a sigh, he grabbed hold of one. The teen with the hats clapped as much as she could with all the hats in her hands. The unknown teenager nodded approvingly at them both and went to pass out hats to more people. I wonder if she was related to Miranda in some way. Most likely, since she was handing them out. You put the party hat on your head with a smile, and it fit well. It was surprisingly comfortable. You really completes your look. When did you get so fashionable? He spurred you, just suggested you a new accessory. This looks good on me, thanks. After straining eye, and he seemed unsure how to handle the reaction to his statement. Wondered for a second until he came up with a response. You don't have to brag. He struck a pose and he rolled his eyes. Cove finally put on his own hat on. He was nervous about his face uncertain. Oh, that's cute. I don't know about this. I feel kind of silly. Does it look weird? You look great, Cove. Oh, thanks. He readjusted his hat bashfully. After that, the people in charge quickly set the next game. Teenagers melted out until they were told to find partners. You had to listen to the rules, strain your ears to listen to the adult announcing what you were supposed to do. It's a simple game. One person in a pair would throw candy while the other had to catch it in their mouth. If they caught it, the pair would move on to the next round, where everyone would take a step back, and the former catcher would become the thrower. The game would continue, the players getting further and further until one set of partners were the only ones left standing, or everyone lost in a round. Got hard against and ready for own partners. They moved fast. You noticed Cove had his eyes on you. Can we be partners? Neither of you were all that familiar with anyone else here. It'd be safe choice to pair up. Yep. Let's do it, partner.
Cool.
He beamed and you started wondering about your respective candy catching capabilities. Two rows of players faced each other formed. Cove tilted his head towards them, and you started to head over. You both went up directly in front of each other. It took a while to pass out the candy. You had a small bag of gummies that smelled strongly fruity. Most Cove took it upon himself to do a taste test of a red one across from you. They're not bad. Try one for yourself. He ended up grabbing a purple gummy. The sweet new guess was supposed to be grape flavored, but it was mostly just really sugary. And then it was time to begin. Cove's row was set to throw first. He frowned nervously, his eyes alight with seriousness. He grinned and Cove's smile looked more genuine and less filled with tenseness. The game was on. The adult in charge shouted for the throwers to go. You and Cove were only a couple feet away from each other. With Cove's careful toss, you caught the candy easily. Most of the other players moved on to the next round. There were a few gaps in rows as everyone took a step back. The round was harder with pairs further apart, but not overly so. It could be done if both partners tried. We'll do our best. Carefully plucked the gummy from the bag and felt the weight. You shifted it in your hands a couple of times for practice and then told Cove you were ready. You went for another head throw, careful to aim for Cove's mouth. Blue candy arced and landed perfectly in Cove's mouth. He chewed it twice and smiled widely. You could tell Cove was genuinely pleased to make it through another round. You were happy as well. The next round began and he took another step back. Cove was even further away now, but he made an okay sign. He was in this to win it. Around you, the one-stacked rows of players had thinned out some. Wondered how many rounds everyone had left in them. Cove swung his arm and made eye contact with you. He nodded and the green candy flew towards you. Tried your best to catch it. You followed the arc of the candy and opened your mouth wide. It had a slight spin on it and you tilted your head to the left, upon the stage. Bit down the candy, grinning with your victorious catch. It tasted sweet and vaguely like a Slurpee. Yeah, Jules! Cove was thrilled. He was entirely invested in the game at this point. I am too! You and Cove were still in the game. You knew this was the final round, and a few other players were still left. Cove was determined to win. You could see it in the clench of his jaw, the careful way he watched you. Equally wanted to win. You made it this far, it was time to go all the way. You looked around at your remaining competitors and prepared yourself. Cove gave you a firm grin and you prepared to throw. Your fingers grabbed an orange gummy from the bag. It felt solid in your grasp, even if your hand was trying to get sticky from touching all the sugary sweets. Cove leaned his face towards you and bent his knees, ready to catch. The time came. You looked at the candy and then Cove. Tried your best. The candy flew like a missile straight towards him. He positioned himself effortlessly for it. Cove caught the candy just like that. A wide grin spread on his face as he victoriously chunked down on the candy. Yes! Along with a cheer, he jumped up in excitement and thumped one arm. You look to your left and to your right. You see the few remaining players walking away, commiserating over their loss. With some shock, you realize that you and Cove were the only ones who made it to that round. You won! You watched the moment Cove clicked into the same realization. His face brightened like sunshine and he jogged over to close the distance between you. You stepped closer to meet him halfway. Good question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Fine. Nudged him in a friendly way. You elbowed him softly in the arm and he beamed at you. You'd won this together. He giddily stomped his feet in place in front of you as though he couldn't contain his energy. We did it! And then he wrapped an arm around your neck, pulling you closer to a celebratory side hug. Adjusted the hat, but had nearly fallen off throughout the event. Nice catch. Nice throw. The game runner strolled over and merrily gave you both a bunch more candy on top of letting you keep the gummy bag. quite the collection. So back over just how much candy you both had acquired. Between this game and the pin and tail and donkey, you were swimming in sugar now. With the candy toss over, you're going to need something else to do. You didn't have to wait long. You heard someone on the crowd shout that the bounce house was officially open for the older kids. You and Cove shared a look. Cove smiled and you knew he wanted in. You both went over to the bouncy castle and kicked your shoes off. You crawled into the inflated castle with Cove hot on your heels. There were a couple other teams inside already. Started to get a feel for bouncing. Cove hopped from the middle to the side and back. Just after you landed from a particularly high jump, someone else knocked in. It was the birthday girl herself. Hi, Miranda. Hi, birthday girl. Miranda looked happy. She waved both her hands at you with a megawatt grin. I hope you're having fun. She hopped around with her hands in front of her like a kangaroo. It was a surprisingly effective way to clear distance in the bounce house. She then jumped high, kicking both her legs out to the side and touched the tips of her toes with her fingers. Wow, that's really good. Wow! Miranda hadn't run out of tricks yet. She jumped a couple more times, gaining height before doing a backflip and ducking into a ball. Was she a gymnast or an acrobat? She managed to land on her feet, but didn't stick the landing. She tumbled back and fell on her butt. Cove clapped. Miranda inclined her head almost like a bow. She was back to jumping in no time. You're so good at this. You bounced close enough to watch the two of you talk without shouting. Close enough to the two of you to talk without shouting across the way. Cove's bouncing slowed down to accommodate their conversation.
My family is every year, and we have a trampoline in the backyard.
That explains it. That's really cool. Miranda giggled a bit and then her eyes sparkled. Hey, I can launch someone if you want. If I jump in front of you, then your bounce will go higher. Okay, launch me. Sure. Miranda leaped over to you, her excitement clear on her face. Cove watched with interest. To explain more clearly how this was supposed to work, you got ready to bounce on her cue. 3, 2, 1. The moment she came down, you jumped high. The force of courage, as she had said, helped launch you up. The air rushed past your face, and then you were coming back down. Your feet hit the bounce house hard enough to help launch Miranda up a little as well. She giggled some more, and the two of you took turns bouncing each other up. Cove clapped or offered suggestions, but it was becoming clear that he wanted a turn too. Miranda invited him to join, tried to synchronize your bounces to launch Cove up super high. First, that resulted in everyone crashing down in a pile of laughs. By the fifth attempt, Cove managed to catch some serious airtime. Woo! You all had fun bouncing around. You twirled, Miranda did stunts. Cove futilely tried to touch the highest tip of the castle ceiling. Of course he did. You and Cove chatted to Miranda more than you ever had at school. She truly was the queen of this bouncy castle. Whenever someone did something cool, everyone would cheer. If you fell, the others would help you up. Eventually, more people wanted to take turns in the bounce house, so you and Cove left. As you slipped on your shoes, you saw Miranda get drawn into conversation with a group of adults. She would be talking to them for a while. You and Cove decided to take a break and hydrate. You went to the party table and grabbed some ice water. Cove handed you a party noisemaker he'd picked up from the same table. You blew on his, and it made a funny sound when it unrolled. I remember those. Cove downed his drink in a cup of gulps. He had gotten pretty into bouncing after all. You were still sipping on your water when Cove blew on his noisemaker again. Then again, and again. It was almost a tune. You didn't recognize any particular melody. But a noisemaker also isn't an instrument. The noise cut through the hum of the stargate, loud and noticeable. Blew your noisemaker back at Cove. Blew hard enough to unfurl the paper completely straight. It jutted towards Cove, almost tapping his chin. Cove wasn't going to let that stand. He retaliated and blew his back at you, and nearly touched your nose. It was a game now. Both of you tried to land a light hit on the other. Cove managed to get your chin while he scored it right between his eyes.
Oh, great. You people again.
Oh, this asshole! This kid. Someone vaguely familiar shouted and you snapped your head to the side. Cove's noisemaker dropped from his mouth. The speaker stepped up and there was no doubt it was Jeremy, that mean boy you met at the start of summer. Let's try being polite, because this is someone's birthday party. Hi, how are you? Greeting went unacknowledged and Jeremy's scowl didn't change. Of course it didn't. Is that the type of kid he is? Why are you here? Cove's tone was defensive. You watched Jeremy's face turn black as he His question was the idiocy above all idiocies. Didn't I already explain this? He hadn't, so both you and Cove exchanged a look. Do you have memory loss? Are you really that stupid? Seriously.
I didn't walk here.
My parents brought me. Apparently I couldn't just stay inside like I wanted. No, they insisted that I get out, enjoy the day, and have fun on vacation, blah, blah, blah. You said enjoy the day and have fun on vacation, like some people would say scrub the entire bathroom or listen to an offbeat singer for 10 hours. They found a park because I hate the beach. Too bad I also hate parks. I get dirty here. They don't know anything. Oh, and then they saw the stupid party and decided to bother some adults by asking what was going on. I think maybe we could be included. It's moronic. Get it now? That's what my parents are. Annoying and embarrassing. Why would anybody want strangers at their birthday? Why can't they ever just leave things alone? He hugged loudly and his eyes got shot daggers at some grown-ups that presumably were his parents. Meeny, miny, moe. I'm not sure. Let's try to be friendly. Well, you're here now. Maybe you can make sense of it. And maybe you can shut your dumb face. Jeremy's eyes slipped away from me to take in the rest of the park for a bit. It was a little awkward. Responsible, he didn't know what to do. But then he spoke again.
So dumb.
How can people really go around in an embarrassing party hat? Do they think it's fun or something? How could a human being be so dumb? It's just kind of nice to do party stuff. Jeremy scoffed, unimpressed. The expression on his face was nasty as he spoke. I am not surprised an empty-headed person like you would think that. Oh. Jeremy looked you over, completely dismissive. It's so rude you can't help but feel offended. Cove's face hardened. He seemed more offended than when anyone actually insulted him personally. How did I know that was going to happen?
Hey!
Just because we don't know how to be happy doesn't mean no one else does. It's not our fault if you hate everything. It's not okay for you to take it out on Jules. They aren't doing anything wrong. You are. Jeremy seemed unfazed by Cove's defense and sniffed. Jules can humiliate themselves on their own. They don't need you to step in and do it for them. Listen to that. You're both... You're... It didn't take long for him to piece together that you weren't going to let him speak without interruption.
Stupid.
How stupid. Shut his mouth though until I stopped talking. You're ruining someone's birthday. People were starting to watch what was going down. Your argument wasn't exactly quiet at this point. Why don't you just leave us alone if we're so awful? Jeremy glared even more and huffed.
Dumbasses.
Passing to you is pointless, dumbasses. He stalked off like the last time we saw him, muttering under his breath. Do your noisemaker after him with a final tooth. Cove sighed relief after Jeremy was gone. You relaxed going for a moment. And that's just how much attention he dragged from the other guests. Luckily, I hadn't gone on long enough to get a real crack. A concerned adult in a blue button-up shirt approached you and asked who that was. Everyone was all right.
It's okay.
I'm fine. Cove looked at you cautiously, asking just as much as the adult if you were okay. Everything's fine now. You don't have to worry about us. The concerned adult lingered for a few seconds, but nodded and left you alone. Jeremy's fiasco was officially over. Cove rubbed his eyes, clearly ready to put all of that nonsense behind him. Then he started laughing. It was a surprised laugh breaking out of his chest without any actual joy. It was nervous and disbelieving and all the complex emotions brought about by one meeting with Jeremy. Yeah, you gotta laugh or cry, and sometimes it's better to laugh. Can't believe it. Smokey sipped and starts. The look on his face actually started with it. It was hilarious. How could Jeremy be like that? He shouted at us. He barely knows us. And it was at a birthday party for somebody. My headphones need to charge. Where is it? There it is. Okay. I did have it on for charge. Just a second. Okay, headphones are charging. Glad I get it right the first time. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Three. You hope that you would never see him again. I just never want to see him again. Cove seemed to think about his next words carefully before he spoke. I don't think it matters what we do around here. Jeremy's just gonna yell no matter what. We shouldn't worry about it. Do you want to tell your moms about Jeremy, I mean? Don't expect a fight. Maybe they know how to handle someone like him. Thanks for asking. Yeah, let's bring it up because this is crazy. And sometimes it helps me get an adult perspective. I let them know everything.
Alright.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, Cove. It's my fault you were wearing the party hat in the first place. Cove shook his head. If anything, he seemed surprised at your apology.
Don't worry.
I don't mind that you did. It's been fun. The whole day has been fun, except for Jeremy. And he's gone now. He reached up and flicked his hat with pride, giving him a small grin. It made you happy. Finally, he bent over to pick up the knife that Cove dropped when Jeremy appeared. It might be too dirty to use now, but he didn't want to leave it there. He accepted it softly, offered a little favor back to him. Thanks, Jules. I like how we can be there for each other. It makes you feel better about that kind of stuff when it happens. Yeah. Cove suggested that you should find a seat at one of the tables. It was almost cake time, and he wanted to be prepared. A good reminder that the party wasn't over yet. Yeah, someone wrote a little, they drew fan art basically of their character, saying, I think I have a crush on Cove, and Liz was going, about time you figured it out. There's a free table there. Let's get ready for some cake. You and Cove tried to settle down after the last event. You took seats across from one another at one of the park tables. There were a few attempts to chat, but for the most part, you simply watched the adults run around to set the cake cutting. There was a minor panic when who you assumed was Miranda's dad apparently forgot to light her for the candles. He and another man went through and started asking the other adults for matches or lighters. They could ask their dad. He always has the lighter because he smokes. They weren't having any luck until a grim-faced teenager who had been passing out party hats pulled the green lighter out of the ice cream cooler. Where the lighter was put in the cooler remained a mystery, but with party hat girls found it was time to get things going again. Miranda sat at the head of the longest table. A large chocolate cake was set in front of her. She lit all 14 candles with the cooler lighter with a big smile. The adults started singing happy birthday and the rest of the guests joined in. At the end of the song, Miranda blew out the candles with a dedicated hat. She closed her eyes and saw her silently mouth something. Maybe it was a birthday wish. Miranda cut her own slice, and one of the grown-ups took over cutting the cake. Another adult passed around plates of cake slices with a scoop of vanilla ice cream to the guests. Eventually, the cake got around to you and Cove. Yep, chocolate cake. Best cake. Right there. Cove was pleased with the treat in general. The cake looked rich and moist and smelled white chocolate. Yep, we went both. You took a bite of ice cream. The vanilla wasn't bad. It was a little black. The chocolate cake, however, was a rich flavor. Yeah, that's what I don't get about people who like vanilla, is there's really not flavor to it. You need something with it, something to contrast with it. I guess in a way vanilla is a bit like salt in that it enhances whatever flavor it's with. But it also depends on what kind of vanilla, because that's something I've noticed doing grocery shopping, is there's lots of different vanilla flavors. There's French vanilla, golden vanilla, regular vanilla, and I assume there's just slight difference in the recipe to give it those different kinds of vanilla flavors. So, I mean, if you're going to have chocolate cake, put it with vanilla ice cream so that the ice cream flavor of the ice cream is the flavor of the cake. That's something I picked up from Great British Bake Off. And other cooking shows, but mainly Great British Bake Off. Cove then took his fork and started mashing up some of his cake. When the cake resembled a pile of crumbly chunks, he started mixing it into the ice cream. The melted parts of the ice cream made a kind of chocolate cake soup. Well, let's just raise an eyebrow. I'm sorry, that does not sound appetizing. But that sounds exactly like the sort of thing my brother would do. I'm puzzled at what he was doing. Cove paid no mind. No, ice cream is not good by itself. I'm going to eat it with the cake either way, so why not put them together now? Things like ice cream and cakes exist. Putting stuff together is normal. Cove can simply challenge down on his concoction. One advantage is next to the ice cream to detach most of the crumbs that would usually fall from eating a cake. Like some of the kids around, Cove's shirt remained clean. Started eating in certain areas. You enjoyed yourself plenty. There's a picture of me as a baby. I was, I think 2, maybe 3. But I was eating cake and I managed to get it all around my neck. So I made a mess. And I still make a mess. I tend to be a messy eater. I've gotten better about it though. Cove suddenly put his fork down on his plate and stared up to the sky with a faraway expression. He checked, but didn't see anything attention-grabbing. This ice cream is better than those ones in cups. You know, with little wooden spoons. I still kind of want that instead. Aww. You remember what kind he was talking about. Oh yeah, like the ones handed out at the barbecue before the fireworks happened. Right. Cove smiled nostalgically at the thought. You could picture a younger Cove for a moment, the same look in his eyes. Have a bite. Okay. And my cat's dead. He wants out. Alright. The toll. Got a GBPatch. Okay. Not exactly what I want without giving him some loving. Now about the memory. Miranda started to open her gifts. She systematically attacked the mountain of presents like a pro. She checked for any cards and read them loudly before opening a gift. She called it every present, including the ones you and Cove got her. She was glad the presents were accepted. It took time, but eventually Miranda got all the gifts. She was very sweet and polite throughout it all. The party went until the sun began to set. By that point, most of everything had settled down and people had begun to leave. Any of the guests whose parents had stayed for the party were already gone, except for Miranda's family. Of course, they're going to be the last ones to go. Only Duke is still waiting for parents to come and get them remain, you and Cove included. Miranda's family were cleaning up, and as a guest, neither you nor Cove were supposed to help with that. Instead, you both had decided to take it easy in the bouncy castle, somewhere out of the way where you could casually wait for your ride. Miranda had also elected to hang out with you. You weren't even bouncing it anymore. Cove laid on his side with his back to a wall, and Miranda sat across from him with her legs stretched out. You also made yourself comfortable. It was nice and warm in the little building. It also felt like you had some privacy, which was nice. You could all speak openly here. Thanks for coming. She looked down, but continued shyly. It's been really cool to get to hang out with you a little bit. Thanks for letting me come. I didn't think I'd be invited. I'm so happy I could come. Miranda just smiled a little more.
So...
Did you know something happened earlier with some people you didn't know showing up? You had to think about his question a little. It was apparent that she didn't have an encounter with Jeremy since there was no instant recognition. I heard about something. Some other parents were talking to my parents when their kid came and forced them to leave the party. She tilted her head to the side, finding it weird, but also not important. Then everyone had cake and ice cream. Cove smiled unconsciously. That's good. He was very worried that the Jeremy conversation could have gotten to her. Likely, it didn't seem that anyone had overheard or passed along Jeremy's school words. Cove rolled over on his back and sighed contentedly. Miranda seemed confused, but wasn't going to push. Change the subject. We're not going to tell her. It was for her birthday, so no. Maybe later we'll tell her, but probably not. What are you going to do with all those gifts? You've been a mountain of stuff, Miranda laughed.
I don't know. I'm
going to
have to find a way to get them all in my room.
Cove gave a bent smile and made a suggestion. You can carry some in that backpack you got. She giggled and clapped her hands with delight. That's true. You all continued chatting in a laid-back manner until it was time to go home. At the end of the day, you thought it had been quite the party. Ta-da! is, if I wait and if I stop here, that leaves 3 for next week, and I don't know how I'm going to be feeling next week. And I'm feeling okay, so let's go ahead and do another one. That way, next week will be shorter, because I'll probably not move on to step 3 until the week after. You stared out the window, watching the scenery pass by as your mind drove down the quiet street over leisurely pace. Finger crooned sweetly from the radio, tuned well enough so you could block it out if you wanted. You turned away from the window when your mom suddenly spoke up. Well, kids, are you excited to be going to the library? I guess. You don't sound so sure there, Jules. Mine wasn't wrong. It was what it was, but your real interest lay elsewhere. There hasn't ever been a time when you were super excited to go to the library. Because remember, the previous DLCs, there was a time when you did go to the library, but you didn't actually read. You spent the time playing hide and seek with Cove. And I think my cat wants to again. Or maybe not. It was me totally down with going to the library, but the point is I'm not playing myself, I'm playing someone else.
So,
what about you, Cove? You're part of the conversation too.
Not really.
If I didn't have school stuff to do, I would probably just go be somewhere else.
I see.
I get it. I wasn't supposed to be in the library in my day either. Really? Well, no, unless you got under a 6-year-old as my day. She grinned over at the two of you briefly. Mom refocused on driving, humming along with the radio under her breath, then back to staring outside. You passed the street. You caught a glimpse of someone in brightly colored clothing passing up balloon animals. It sparked a faraway memory, and you felt your lips twitching and were consciously remembering why. How long ago was it that you and Cove watched Maisie and Alexander performing magic tricks? Maybe I do. Alexander, Amazing Alexander. He gave us dolphin balloons for free. It doesn't matter, Cove smiled faintly.
Oh.
Yeah, I wonder if he's ever there now. Maybe we should go back more often to check. Maybe. That's the first time we went down that street together, I think. I miss my balloon. He was a good dolphin for that one afternoon I had him. Yeah, hey, Cove. What were you going to name your balloon? You never told me. Oh, I don't know. I can't remember what kid me was thinking. Probably something obvious like Skipper. You couldn't help the way your own smile curled up higher at the excitement. You wanted to say something else, but couldn't quite think of what, and so just settled back into your seat. When silence filled the car again, you returned your attention to the window. It was an absolutely gorgeous day. You leaned your face to the sunshine, tempted to close your eyes as the gentle rays warmed your cheeks. Jules? Huh? You lifted yourself up a bit more, seeing your mom twisting her torso face you, confused, from the front seat of the car. Next to you was nothing. Cove's car door was already open. It reached its destination before you even realized it. I was asking what time I should pick you two up. Oh, 4 should be okay. That should give you enough time to finish your summer assignments, or at least make a large enough dent. Thanks, Mom. You hopped out of the car, remembering to grab your backpack at the last second.
Alright.
Have fun, you two. Yeah, good. Doing schoolwork, when is that ever fun, right? Everyone's going to the library to have fun. You need to make sure that you understood the material forwards and backwards, or else your grades might not be what you need them to be. The two of you went right to the door of the library. Cove reached her first and tucked it open, passing inside. Kept it propped open so you could pass through behind her. The air was much cooler inside the building than it had been for the few seconds you spent outdoors. The space was filled with the soft din of papers being moved and whispered voices. Hey, she seemed kind of distracted on the ride here. I'm excited to see Derek. Cove nodded a little, but he didn't say anything in response. Your study buddy was standing at the front of the library by a long rack of magazines. Predictably, he's flipping through one with various sports players on the cover, looking intense enough to burst off the page. His head snapped up when he walked over, beaming widely. Hey, Jules, Cove. Hey, were you waiting for a while? Not super long. Derek put the magazine back in his place, then he gestured to the space at his side. Most of the tables were empty, only a few people leafing through books. There's plenty of room. In an unspoken agreement, the three of you started moving towards the seating area. Derek taking 2 steps for everyone at Cove. I feel that, Derek. I feel that. Oh, guess what? I'm pretty sure I mastered the fake shot. I'll show you some other time. Derek looked over to gauge the level of interest. Do you know it? Poker's not really for me. All the sporty stuff Cove like was beachwear, surfing, snorkeling, I can talk, really, bodyboarding. He didn't play a lot of team games, but he liked doubles volleyball. How does it go? Derek's eyes flashed with excitement as he explained. Okay, multiply like you're gonna go one way, and then you demonstrate by running 2 steps ahead, showing off some fancy footwork. You do it like this, so it does like that. You laugh, bobbing your head at his attempt to get the trick across no bottom. He's trying. The three of you looked over to the checkout desk. The librarian stood behind it and was wearing a deep frown. Apologetic. You mouthed sorry, she sighed. Before turning back to the book she was reading. Derek scratched his cheek, choosing not to let that derail him.
Oops.
So what are you guys working in? If I remember correctly, I really should be writing this stuff down. You did study hard, so let's go with the first one. What weren't you working on? You had started work on most of your assignments, not wanting to leave them until the last minute. You had to decide which to focus on this afternoon, though, so you had brought all of them. Who knows, there's a chance you'll be able to finish all of them, or so you hope. Let's work on history. We have to do this timeline thing. Makes us work on that while you were here, since you probably need to pick up the reference book. This is summer reading too. I have to go through an assigned book, but I'm going to do that later since it doesn't need extra references or anything. What about you two? I got a few worksheets. They look pretty easy, but my school gave us 3 books to read. So I have to stick with just one? Yeah, that's, with my school, there were 3 levels of English, and depending on which English class you took, that, dictated how many English books you had to, how many books you had to read over the summer. And for my senior year, I tested into the honors class. I only needed to read one, but I tested into the AP class and needed to read 3. And at first I was happy that I was in the honors class, but I was so bored. I actually asked my parents could switch to the AP class, and she talked to the English teacher, and the English teacher said I could switch, but I had to read the 2 other books and write essays about them. And I was like, that's cool. I'm bored in this other class. I had done the AP classes my first 2 years of high school, so doing honors class was just really jarring, and just because I didn't know anyone in the honors class. I knew everybody in the AP class because I'd taken the AP classes with them already. So, but honestly, part of my problem is just whether the books are interesting to me or not. If they're not interesting, I don't want to read them. Anyway, I'm also doing the timeline. Go up on the table close to the tall bookshelves to set up camp. Within seconds, pencils and folders and books strewn out on the surface. We're going to focus on our work because that is not me. I would end up looking out the window. But I'm trying to do... This is a chance to actually do something I don't normally do, which is actually do my work. There was no time to lose. You were at the library with people you knew, but you couldn't afford to let that distract you. You checked the requirements on the homework sheet your teacher had given you, then opened up your textbook to the pages you needed. After some time, Cove shifted in the seat, twisting his back, and tried to work knots out of it. You cooped up? Yeah, I'm gonna get out for a little while. Okay, I'm gonna stay here. I'm making good progress. I'll stay too. You don't want to break your concentration and have to get back into it. Get on with the work. You kept your head down and tried to keep your mind on the task at hand. Derek's pen continued scratching against the paper. You stared down at your own work, thinking about what to do next. You didn't even realize that Derek had stopped writing until his customer caught your attention. You were to think that it would be back at school soon, huh? Yeah, new school year. Are you looking forward to it? I wouldn't say I was looking forward to it, but this year's going to be the year. The year of what?
Right.
The year I'm on the team. He pumped his fist in the air and momentarily became too loud for a library again. The team? Which one? Football or soccer? You don't know which? Nope. Thing is, I haven't figured out how I'm going to pick. I'd have more time to practice and get real good at it if I stuck with just one. I don't know. Do what makes you happy. I'm happy playing both, but I'd be happier being better. But hey, how about you? What's your new school year got in store for you? I want to learn a new skill.
Really?
Really? I hope to practice with it if I can. You continue talking questions for the year ahead until Cove returns. At the start, you realize that last 15 minutes has slipped by. It only felt like a few moments. With a fresh mind, you all turn back to your work. The sound of shuffling dragged you out of your head. You looked up, surprised to see Derek packing up. You're done? Derek casually shrugged, but you could tell he felt proud to be the first finished. Told you it wasn't anything hard. What are you going to do now? I wondered how Derek was going to spend his news out. Bring them.
Maybe.
I could look over what you're doing. Maybe I've got some tips that'll help. That'd be great. Thanks.
I gotcha.
With the smell, Derek leaned over your part of the table. He took some time to get the chest and point you in the right direction before turning it back over to you. Derek leaned on the back of his seat. Okay, I'm going to look around when you guys finish. See you. Bye.
Bye.
See you. Later on, Cove sat in his seat, closing his book as he looked over the notes he'd been taking. But anyway, he got to say what you had done thus far, too. You have finished most of this time. So pleased with what you'd accomplished. Next time, you can focus on what you have left. Derek's advice made it easier in the end. You're about ready? It's almost 4. Yeah, I think so. Come on. The both of you gathered up your books, and after returning the ones you'd used for reference to their proper shelves, set out to find wherever Derek had wandered off to. I know some libraries, they actually want you, if you use their books, even if you don't check them out, you either leave them on a table or they have a special cart that you can put them on. Because it helps them keep track of what books are even being used. But, I don't know. It depends on the library, I guess. He was in the biography section. His back was to the two of you, one hand above his head and the other supporting himself against the shelf. His strange grabbed one of the books. Hey, Derek, we're ready.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That's where's the sound of your voice. Up, then up to the shelf, trying to reach. I can get that for you. Yeah, thanks, Jules. Derek directed you towards the book he wanted. It was an autobiography of someone you'd never heard of before. And then so you moved to the Friends Library to wait for your ride. You stood close to the window and let out a content sigh, feeling the rays warm you from the slightly chilly library interior. I remember going to the library. I haven't been to the library in a while. For years. Any plans after this? I'm going to work on my technique to get rusty while school's out. That answer was inevitable. Technique for what? Football. How about you two? Further question. Most think that your mom said something sexual for the evening that you've forgotten. Nothing planned. Me neither. Oh, that's my dad's car. Sarah lifted her hands away, pushing the door open and heading towards the blue pickup truck waiting in the parking lot.
Talk to you
See
later.
you, Jules. Bye, Cove. You watched Eric jog off before staying in the area for their mom. Sort of. I thought you were basically done. No, then perhaps she felt pretty good about that. I feel like I'll need to come back to the library again before summer's over. I'll come in with you. I still have those books to read anyway. So I got the idea. Despite not working on the same thing, it'd be nice to have some company. I'm good with that. Hey, do you want to do something with me after this? Oh, sure. Cove seemed eager towards the offer. You hadn't exactly expected him to say no, but the agreement still made you happy. The two of you smiled at each other. It wasn't long before you spied your mom's car coming down the road. There she is.
All right.
Time to go then. You climbed into the car, sliding to your usual seats and buckling this out. Hey, kiddos, did you get a lot done? Yeah. Nice. The car shifted into action and watched its library shrunk to the distance. It wouldn't be the last time you saw it this summer, but at least you knew you were going to have company. You fielded questions from Mom while you tried to juggle a conversation with Cove. When she learned you two were planning on returning, she immediately offered to give you a ride next time. Continued to answer Mom's questions about what you'd been working on, then told her about your plans to stick with Cove after getting back. But soon enough the trip was over, you had arrived back to your neighborhood. Cove went over to his house real quick to drop off his stuff. Next, you made a pit stop to put your backpack away before heading out again. You drove through your group to the middle of the road, halfway between your hedges. With everything wrapped up, you could now freely enjoy the rest of the afternoon. The conversation resumed as you both began walking down the street together. The afternoon came and went, dinner was eaten, and you were cleaning up the dishes left behind from it. Cove had elected to stay for the meal today. He passed you a couple plates to rinse from the sink. Even though he didn't have to, Cove asked to do at least something to help. You scrubbed the last of them and let out a satisfied sigh. Okay, they're done. I'm going upstairs now. You adjust your dress for the evening. Are you going to come with me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have to go back till later. Take it easy, kids. Thank you for the help. Then you got back to your room. You noticed your backpack from earlier. You figured it would be best to unpack the stuff you needed before going to bed. You popped into your desk chair and it spun around a bit as you got comfortable. Flashed you contentedly as you walked across the room. Didn't need or expect you to try and entertain you constantly. Just nice to be near each other, even when nothing was going on. You huddled your bag up onto the bed. It's empty to the comforter. With that, you started to sort through books and paper packets. Not all of it were things you'd need anytime soon. Small piles of the most important items began to grow at the side of your backpack until you'd gone over it all. You had actually finished flipping through the contents, but that wasn't all of your work. You instinctively pulled up the opening closer to you and peered inside. The second look through commenced, and then a third, and then you began to open the smaller pockets. You were missing your history assignment. Jules? By this point, Cove could tell something was wrong. That was part of your summer work that you had gotten done, and now it was gone. It hadn't been that noteworthy before, but the bag wasn't really zipped when you had first begun to look through. The work could have fallen out somewhere if you had it in the first place. But maybe just stay calm. You got the problem early. There's still time to make it right. You couldn't use your head. My history work is sitting in my backpack. At your word, Cove jumped out of his seat.
No way!
Oh, crap. Is there somewhere we can look? The back was kind of open, so unsympathetically, that left a lot of options for where it might be, most of them bad. You resolved to check the spot the backpack was originally left in. It couldn't hurt to look. With nothing in sight there, you expanded the search to the rest of the space. Cove did his best to stay out of your way, while keeping an eye open for your missing work. It was a fruitless effort. Your assignment wasn't here. Let's check downstairs. It might still be in your house someplace. Fine.
How are you?
What? Well, hello again. Is everything alright? I unpacked my bag and one of my assignments wasn't there.
I'm so sorry.
What's missing? Assignments for school from the library today. Mom's eyebrows raised with concern at the answer. That's a pickle. I'll call right now. I think they might still be open. Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome.
Just leave it to me. Cove, honey, can you tell us if there's anything you noticed? You were with Jules, right? I saw the assignment when Jules had it out at the library. I don't remember them putting it away, but I'm pretty positive there's nothing left on the table when we were done. He spoke resolutely. Before now, we hadn't considered that something might have been left behind. It felt the same when leaving. So it was hard not to second guess things now. Mom re-entered the scene with the 2 minutes later. The look on her face was not promising.
Well,
So I got a hold of one of the librarians. They don't have any papers with your name on them. Not that they could see anyway. I'm sorry. Thanks for trying. Of course, sorry it was a bust. I mean, it was worth... it had to... That was my first thought, actually, when it came up was, did they leave it at the library? It's not your fault. Car, check the car. Jules, hey, let's go over to my house. I can check my bag. Maybe I took it when we were packing up and didn't notice. Good idea. Things were getting heavy here with your mom touring. Maybe you needed to get away from it, or maybe you thought you needed a chance to get away from it. Let's go. Cove nodded and made his way to the door. Your mom stood by with creased brows. Take care, kids. Good luck. Bye, Mom. Check the car. Or maybe it fell out while you were walking from the car to the house. You briskly made the trip across the street, and in less than a minute you were going through the threshold of Cove's house. Cove had been in a rush earlier today, too. His backpack was tucked on the couch without a thought. No one had moved it since then. You can sit down or anything. I'm going to look. Lifted out the backpack and unzipped it in a fluid motion. Realized her weight as he reared around inside with an unexpected level of seriousness. It wasn't possible to stop Cove on his class, so he tried to relax in the meantime. Eventually, he sighed heavily. Cove's arm was still tucked away inside, but the search was over.
sorry.
It was obvious there wasn't much of a chance Cove somehow had it this whole time. He just shrugged. That's all right. He dropped the backpack to the floor unceremoniously and spoke with a conscious tone.
Are you okay?
Is it? You're really okay? I really am. I can get another copy and rewrite the stuff. It's nice for you to ask about. That's cool. I'm glad. Cove laughed lightly, and you noticed a small shake to it. He was clearly relieved you were going to get through this. You were sweet. He'd been more excited about the loss than you. I think it's admirable how you could keep it together like that. Grateful. Thanks, Cove. It's easier to feel okay because you're with me. He had to gain some courage to be that forward. Return the favor was too much for him, and Cove broke eye contact. Don't give me credit. I'm trying to compliment you. The moment was interrupted by the piercing ring of the Holden home phone. You wordlessly stared at one another with raised brows. Cove's mouth formed a tiny frown. Tyler appeared from the hall on the far side of the living room, summoned by the noise.
Hey,
Hey, Cove. Hi, Jules. I didn't know you were here. She strolled on past. Your eyes followed with her. Cove's mom answered the call, giving a chip of green to whoever was on the other end. 2 minutes later, Tyler begged the person placed the phone down once more. Jules, that was your mom. She said your stuff was in the car. Ha! I was right.
what?
Really? That's what I was told. Now I'll just return to the guest room. You can have your privacy. Cove's face cycled from shock to sour as his mom made her escape, laughing. He shook the interruption off and refocused on you. They've got it. As you guessed, this wasn't going to be a big deal. They've got it. He smiled crookedly and shrugged one shoulder. We should probably head to your house. Your mom might want to talk to you. Yeah, my parents really care about you. They'd kept searching even after you left, and because of that, it all worked out. Cove nodded in agreement. Cove, it means a lot they stuck with me. Thanks. He brightened up with sparkling eyes.
Don't worry
Anytime, Jules. Also, stepping towards the door together, there was a thought in your head that you knew to be true. You were going to be there for another, with the small things when it came to the big things. Okay, that is definitely it for today. So, we should definitely get through these last 2 next week. And then, depending on how long that takes, probably we'll start step 3 until the week after. So, thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. And if you really enjoyed this, please like and subscribe. And if you want to watch more, there are plenty of other videos on my channel by now. I made it a point to make playlists for each of the games that I've done live streams for. So let's see. Oh, this is. That's step 1. What's step 2? This is a cutie. There's Derek. Okay. So, what? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, next week, we'll be on next 2 weeks. We'll be streaming on Thursdays instead of Wednesdays. We have other things going on Wednesdays, and Tuesdays is just as ridiculous. So it is Thursday. It is. So I hope you all have fun. Whether you're watching this with me now, but seems unlikely, or whether you watch this later. So I will just talk to you again and just have a good week. Bye.